Yeah, why give him the airtime? Hello, darlings, and a very warm welcome to the EV Cafe News live. Yes, live from Novuna in Newbury. And I have Paul with me in another room. Johnny Berry sent him off to get the coffee. Sam, Sarah, still to arrive. But this is an exciting day for the EV Cafe because today we are deciding what we do for the coming year and how we're going to go about doing it to deliver you the very best content we possibly can. Anyway. 10 o'clock news is today brought to us by Geotab, My Energy, the AA, EV Civils, and Interval. And I am John Curtis. And with me, we have the news hound that is Paul, the Van Man Kirby. Hi, Paul.
Hi, John. How are you doing?
Oh, do you know what? I'm buzzing for today. Absolutely buzzing. But I'm not the only thing that's buzzing. EV charging. Fastned and MFG EV Power have been putting in brilliant performances with the Zap Map annual public charging network satisfaction ratings. They took first and second place, joint first, I guess, with Instavolt taking third place, Connected Curb and Osprey coming in a joint fourth. ZapMap awards a Best EV Charging Network accreditation to the top scorers, with the others in the top 5 also receiving an EV Driver Recommended title. The ZapMap League table is based on its annual EV charging survey conducted in September 2022, which received responses from more than 4,300 EV drivers. As part of the survey, respondents rated their overall satisfaction for the networks they use regularly, which is then used to rank them each out of a maximum of 5 stars. They also rated their level of satisfaction with the networks in 5 key areas: reliability, ease of use, customer support, value for money, and payment options. And as we've said, Fastned and MFG joint first, Instavolt third. Connected Curb, brilliant performance, and Osprey in at 4, Ionity at 6, Mer, Podpoint and Ubitricity in at 7, and at 10, BEV and GridServe. 10 other CPOs made the list, but largely they've got older legacy kit and it's showing signs of age and a little bit of unreliability. Great news that we've got some really high entrants there, especially for Connected Curb. Delighted for them. Paul, your thoughts?
Well, do you know what? I was using the very Fastned this morning on the way down here to Newbury. I stopped alongside and had a problem-free experience. Pull in, plug in, charging within a matter of seconds with the tap of an RFID card, which I happen to have, but I could have gone contactless as well. So that's really good news. Space for vans is always a challenge, and there wasn't probably space enough there. In fact, there was a barrier that would have precluded vans. So I would be interested to see what the ZapMap survey for van users might come up with, because I think there might be a different list.
Oh, what an interesting idea. I love that. Yeah, let's have a chat with Mel, great friend of the show, and let's see what we can do. Anyway, Tesco. They have started charging for electric vehicle drivers to use its supermarket charge points at all stores from last Tuesday. It looks like you've got a halo or a hat. Anyway.
I know. Well, yes, this is it.
The supermarket giant first announced it had introduced free charges at 100 of its Tesco stores in 2019, and it subsequently expanded to 500 stores in March of this year. Tesco says that as a result of its free charges, EV drivers have enjoyed more than 86 million miles of free electric driving. Quite incredible. And we will look back on this time where we had free electricity and marvel at it. It was wonderful, but it's gone. Anyway, the network was launched by Tesco, Volkswagen and Podpoint, which plans to install 2,400 charge points in total. Paul, Tesco and other supermarkets, they really have. Tesco stepped up, others have to follow suit, surely.
Yeah, I agree. You can't just kind of carry on offering free energy, particularly when the cost is going up. Although Graham Cooper was saying good morning, and of course National Grid are looking to help homeowners manage their tariffs and probably giving away free energy. So that's all good news. But no, I agree. And, one of the things that's been interesting is a complaint about vans using those charge points overnight, taking advantage of the free energy to fill up their vehicle overnight. And whilst I applaud the ingenuity and sort of taking advantage of the free money, I'm not sure it's quite the right message, either for Tesco or for the businesses themselves. But I think it was inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was always coming. Anyway, GridServe. We got some news. GridServe's installed a 360 kilowatt charger capable of adding 100 miles to an electric vehicle in less than 5 minutes, people. That's got to be great. It's Braintree Electric Forecourt. The ABB Terra 360 charger is being trialled by GridServe, and if successful, could become a regular electric forecourt and electric super hubs on the electric highway. How many times in one sentence can we say electric? We are the Electric Vehicle Cafe. So, currently, very few models can take 350 kilowatts. The Porsche Taycan, is up there at around 120 and could go right through to 270 kilowatts, but there are few and far between. Paul, is it the fastest?
Well, first of all, no, it's not. There is already Chempower equipment that will deliver 400 kilowatts through a single cable to any vehicle, and particularly commercial vehicles, of course, because Chempower through Vital EV Solutions are delivering that kind of infrastructure, and they put them in a box and then deliver it through satellite. So it doesn't all have to come through one small box. So whilst I applaud the general view of the 360, one, it's not the fastest, and two, actually isn't the best way of delivering power through one small box, and maybe you can split it and dynamically load manage it and all of those good things. But the question really is, does it give people a false impression to sort of throw out these like 115 miles in X number of minutes when 95 to 98% of all vehicles on the road can't even come close yet? I think we should be a little bit more realistic in where the dark art of charging is concerned.
So Graham Cooper's talking about awaiting the first 1 megawatt truck charger, of course. And Darren Anvona says quite rightly, congratulations to GridServe for having a commercial vehicle lane, something I know you'll be very, very keen to support, Paul.
Absolutely. And that's where they put that charger. That's where they put that charger. So it's the right place for it. It's going to be a really good thing. But Graham points out the first megawatt charger, that's going to be a new type of connection as well. 1 megawatt charger is just kind of getting some ground now and will be what's needed really to power trucks up and down the motorway service, or the what do they call them? The main road network, the strategic road network. There we go.
It's Friday morning. He's not had enough coffee yet. Anyway, let's talk about vans whilst he has a slug of his coffee. The Mercedes-Benz Sprinter has been named the most reliable van by the UK's largest leasing companies for the 8th consecutive year. Mercedes-Benz has also regained the title as the most reliable van manufacturer. The accolades were announced by Fleet News Group editor Stephen Bryce at the FN50 dinner on November the 1st, attended by none other than our very own Paul, the Van Geek Kirby. He had his bow tie out again. His dicky was out. Fleet News asked leasing companies to consider the brands and vans that they had on fleet over the previous 12 months and list the most reliable ones based on the average number of days off the road with unplanned mechanical problems, not including punctures. So Mercedes-Benz Sprinter was 1, VW Transporter came in at 2, Nissan NV200 came in at 3, Mercedes-Benz Vito at 4, VW Caddy at 5, Vauxhall Vivaro, then Ford Transit, VW Crafter, Renault Traffic, and my favourite, the Toyota Hilux, came in at number 10. We gotta love a van, don't we, Paul?
Oh, we do. And do you know what? The most important thing about a van is that it is reliable. And Mercedes-Benz have built their whole business proposition about reliability and minimizing downtime. I remember this well because I worked for them back in 2004 through 2009, and that was what we sold these vehicles on. They are reliable and robust, and they still are. That's great news. But what I would be really interesting to see is how the stats divide between electric and internal combustion engine vehicles, and whether there is a noted overall benefit for electric vans versus their diesel counterparts. I believe there is, but we don't have any evidence yet, and so it's fine to say, yeah, I think so, but let's prove it.
Let's send out a big hug to Jamie Fretwell from Mercedes-Benz Trucks. He loves a good trucking message, and bless his little heart, he's come along today. Can't wait to get his e-trucks into the UK and then down to GridServe to give them a right good charging. Anyway, some less good news. British Volt, they've had a jolt this week because, well, things haven't quite gone their way. British Volt's plan to build a gigafactory in the northeast, which could make batteries for electric vehicles, is in danger of collapse after a request for government help was refused. Reports suggest. Ministers had committed 100 million to the project in January, which it said would help unlock further support from private investors. The factory was expected to create 3,000 direct, highly skilled jobs and another 5,000 indirect jobs in the wider supply chain, and had been touted as an example of levelling up. However, it's understood that after struggling to find investors to help fund the construction, British Volt wanted to draw down nearly a third of the funding early, but the government refused. It's left the 3.8 billion project, which has already been delayed several times, in doubt. Now, this is massively sad news. Even Lavery, the MP for the area, said the chairman informs me that the government's replied overnight with Grant Shapps, the new business secretary, saying that they are not prepared to give them the 30 million at the moment, and as a consequence, it's very likely that British Volt will go into administration. British Volt spokesman said the company was aware of market speculation and was actively working on several potential scenarios that offer the required stability. We have no further comment at this time, he added. Well, we do. We think this is hugely sad, and personally, I think that if the UK wants to be a global player in the autonomous and electric vehicle market, they've got to step up to the plate. Where's the commitment to net zero? And what does it say for Team GB or Team UK? If this is how we manage sustainable economic growth, it's 30 million quid. For goodness sake, people, support British industry. Paul, devastating.
Yeah, and Rick makes a good point. Rick Bulletin from Generate Media, our media filming partners that do such a good job for us. If the UK wants to be an industrial powerhouse, this is a comment from Dr. Ewan McTurk, actually, that leads on green tech and isn't reliant on important goods from overseas. The UK government needs to throw everything at British Volt. And I tend to agree. I mean, you know, what we've got here is a company under duress because the government is not allowing for the economic climate and helping where they can, yet throwing money, billions at other things. We've got a similar situation with Arrival where there's no government money. Now, I'm well known for my comments around Arrival, but they're off to America because there's going to be more money in America thrown at this sector of the industry, and I'm furious about that because it's a loss. You know, sapped up all the UK knowledge and energy and gone, taking it somewhere else. But it really is down to government investing, and it's a wider message here, not just British Volt, but it's about the green agenda and investing in it.
It's middle-aged man fury going on in Newbury today, I can tell you. Anyway, finally, join us on Wednesday, the 16th of November, as we look at the industry of clean, green, last-mile deliveries in our EV Cafe series. Subscribe to our LinkedIn page by searching EV Cafe for more details. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from Pablo, and we are going to get our brains mashed. This has been an EV Cafe production. Other sustainable news services are available, but this is just
funner.
The EV Cafe News is regulated by Big Stuart Interval, Sparky from My Energy, Tucker from the AA, installed by EV Civils and monitored by Geotab. The news is performed by professionals. Please do not try this without a safety net. Any query regarding the accuracy of the news should be addressed to the beleaguered Home Secretary. Let's keep the pressure on. Until next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh yeah, loving